Hunter, it's so good to finally meet you. I am very excited for this, to get to know you better, and for everyone to get to know you. And I have some great questions to go with you if you're ready for
I'm
this
excited.
journey.
I'm excited for these questions. I'm excited to hear where this conversation takes us.
Okay. So, first, we're going to go into your emotional makeup beginning from very young.
Okay.
So, going back to childhood, what
Mm.
originally is bringing the hunger into Hunter?
Well, the Hunter that you're meeting now isn't the same Hunter that existed in childhood. Like it's changed significantly. I would say a large part of who I am now was prompted right after high school when I finally decided to leave America. And I've been on the road ever since. I mean, 9 years, constantly moving. You begin to find that, hey, something's missing here. And
And how old were you when you left?
17, 18,
Wow.
18 actually when I left. And so I didn't realize it until years later, but I had been traveling even while I was in high school. Like
Mm-hmm.
my family, they moved overseas, and so my school was an hour away. I had to drive there, but my friends were on the other side of town. So I
Mm.
have two worlds that I'm living in. At the same time, I'm staying on people's couches, I'm staying on floors because my school is all the way over here. So that was already this like nomadic lifestyle. Then you get the double hit, you move overseas all the way to Asia, right? And now you're traveling India and Malaysia and Thailand, visa runs. And so it began to cause me to realize, oh, snap, you're actually alone out here, and community is very important. And when you grow up in the one that I grew up in, which is like a nuclear based family, you know how, for instance, if it's, let's say, Deepavali, you
Mm.
have the ability to go to cousins, and I really just had my brother, my mom, my dad, and my grandma,
Wow,
you know?
that's small.
So with that just being the nuclear, it was like, okay, this is the tribe, this is who we have.
Yeah.
And then when you start traveling, well now friends are more fluid and you're on the road and you're staying in and out of hostels and relationships are surface level. So it caused me to realize that, oh, I'm actually missing something very important to the human existence, which is community.
Ah,
And
okay.
that's how this
So
happened.
that's where you got your hunger for community.
Yeah, the hunger to push, to be accepted, to be within something that was meaningful. You
Mm.
largely find that people desire for you to bring something, substance to their existence. And so you begin to craft yourself into a mode of a provider
Mm-hmm.
as a way of to be accepted.
Mm-hmm.
And so it sounds like, oh, I need want it to be accepted, but we all want to be accepted. We all want to be appreciated and very valued. So it's not surprising. It's just
Mm-hmm.
the way it is.
I see. And growing up, I saw it. Okay. So you are building a movement, from what I understand, or maybe a group connection. You can explain more for men.
Mm.
So growing up, what was it that you envied in other men when you were younger?
That I envied in other men? Um, I don't think I envied really much in other men. I think I envied the most from my brother. Yeah, my brother was probably the person, and I think envy is the wrong word.
Mm-hmm.
Envy and jealousy aren't the same, right? Jealousy means I want what you have. Envy means not only do I want what you have, but I'm also angry that you have it.
Mm-hmm.
And so those aren't necessarily the same. I don't envy any man. There's nothing that another man has that I don't want them to have. I don't give a damn enough. There were aspects of my brother that I wish I housed
Mm-hmm.
because I was the younger brother and I watched him and his success. And so like they say, if you grade a fish on its ability to climb a tree, he's forever going to think it's stupid. So I would see my brother winning and think, well, that's how you win in this game. So I have to play the game the same way as him. And now I've learned that, wait, no, 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 no. I have to play the game based off of my skill sets, and we're playing two totally different games.
Two different games.
And so
Yep.
if he's winning and I'm winning, it's not like have you ever been to South Africa before?
I would love to go to South Africa. I have not been.
South Africa's a hell of a country.
Oh, yes.
But in Cape Town, they have what's called Table Mountain, right?
Uh,
Table Mountain are these flat mountains because of the sediment on the top, allowing for it to erode to something flat. If you compare that to Mount Everest, Mount Everest is like this, and there can only be one at the top.
mm-hmm.
But tabletop is a flat mountain, and there's many flat mountains, many plateaus. So I could be on the top of my mountain, you could be on the top of your mountain, and is not taking away from either of our ability to be at the pinnacle.
Perfect.
So that's
Yes.
where I am in my life. And that's not where I've always been, but this is what I've crafted for myself. And I'm excited to be able to bring these thought processes to the men that I work alongside.
That's beautiful. When did you first realize you couldn't pretend anymore in the life that you were living? I told you I'm going deep and I'm going emotional, and emotional is where I'm starting. We move on from there after this.
Okay, ask me one more time. Ask me one more time.
So we go deep. When did you first realize that you could not pretend anymore? Because I know there was a part A to your life and there was a push to part B
That I couldn't pretend anymore.
when you left the country, I'm assuming.
When did I realize I couldn't pretend anymore? I don't think it was pretending. I don't think I was ever pretending. I think it was more so I was trying to figure out what role I played, and I began to play a role that wasn't mine so well that I didn't really know who I was anymore. It's like Heath Ledger, the Joker.
Yeah.
He got so talented in being the Joker that once the screen goes off, he's still method acting. I almost became a method actor in life.
Wow.
Where it wasn't pretending anymore. It was who I was, you know. And then you go, oh, why do I feel so confused and unmoored? That was the word. I felt really unmoored, and because of this, I eventually had to figure out going to begin the stripping process, and that's really where we begin our conversation. Was in that stripping process, and it's not over. You know, it's not something that's just overnight. You're you, because as a method actor, you're still got the pain in your room, and that pain is going to trigger you. So there's things that I do, and you asked a question, and my brain went back to one of my inclinations, and that's not acting. It's just trigger points, and that makes life easy for us, is being able to connect to parts of us who we used to be, and it's like, what is it? A sleeper. It's like a sleeper agent. You ever heard of a sleeper agent?
I have no idea. What's a sleeper agent?
A sleeper agent is in the military, so they will put people into civilizations, and these people are just going to live a normal life. But at the time they're ready, they will give them some form of like hypnosis that activates them. And now they remember, oh, I am James Bond 007. That's a sleeper agent. They can move throughout society peacefully, but when necessary to be activated, they can.
Okay.
And that's almost where I was for a very long time. And I'm not fully healed of it. But the journey that I go on is the journey that I go on alongside the people that I work with.
I see. Once again, community is very creative for you.
As deep as the wound.
Okay, well, on that note, the wound, let's talk about the next act, the fracture, okay? That brings us to this may feel dangerous, provocative, which I know you love.
I love this woman.
What? I just don't want to be repetitive here, but let's see.
What do you think about this? What's your thoughts?
About?
In regards to a fracturing self and trying to re-identify self, trying to understand who you are if you've been playing a role, which one could have been imposed or could have been self-accepted. What's your thoughts on this? Have you ever seen this for yourself?
I think the biggest epiphanies come from the breakdown. So when everything in your world seems to be falling apart, those are the moments of rebirth. When it seems like, oh, I'm grasping, I'm losing. Everything that you're losing is making space for something new to grow, to take seed. So we have to go through cycles in life. We have to continually be born again and evolve. That's what evolution is. And it's a choice. Not everyone has that desire for growth and change, and that's not for me. So
what do you mean, what's not for you?
Staying the same is not for me.
Oh, okay.
But that's an option too. So
is it? Can you actually stay the same? Because time is moving. If time is moving and you are moving with time, a same is never the same, because at least you're not in the same space.
You're not in the same space. Are you going through the same actions? Is this Groundhog Day? Do you wake up, go to the same job, go through the same motions and emotions, problems in different forms, but the same old script? That's what I call being stuck, not changing. And that's fine for some people, but for me, I like
for
to
you.
keep it moving.
Yeah.
Keep it moving. Keep growing. The more evolution, the more cycles of birth and death in one lifetime, the better for me.
I love that.
Yeah. So back to the tough question. I led up to the tough questions. What are the tough questions? I don't know if we should go that deep so fast. I don't know why are these questions going that deep.
You wrote them.
Apparently, it was like from 0 to 100 here. What's the difference for you, Hunter, between expansion, topic of the day, theme of the day, and escape?
Expansion and escape.
I think we were talking about entropy.
What's the difference between
and some
expansion?
analogies you had brought up about different substances, and it reminds me of that visual. If you can remind us.
Yeah, entropy, where you have something that's in its form and then it's looking to dissolve itself. What's the difference between expansion and escapism?
Haven't thought about that one myself, honestly.
That's troubling. That's troubling. All right, let's first break it down and then we can work from there. So expansion is you starting from a single place and you're moving out in all forms, attempting to fulfill all places, all spaces. It's like a fart. But escapism is your attempt to not be within the container that you're currently in. And so I believe that the difference is the rejection of the center place. So escaping is trying to reject who it naturally is, right? Like it starts here and it moves out. That's expansion. But escapism wants to create a void in who it originally is and just fulfill everything outside while neglecting its true origin.
Wow.
And I think that's wild that you asked me that because a lot of people are really trying to escape. We're trying to fill every single bubble in the cosmos around. But the original place that we come from, we reject. It's funny. I was thinking about that actually. I might be an escapist. I might be an escape artist because I was talking to Italo, a really good friend of ours, right? And he was like, man, I love Brazil. I love Brazil. And I was like, I don't really love America.
Ah, right.
You know?
So interesting.
And he was like, I also didn't love America. I also didn't love Brazil. I didn't love Brazil until I began to travel Brazil. And I was like, damn, I never traveled America.
That is so right.
I left America and I was like, I'm not going back. I haven't seen the Rocky Mountains. I haven't seen any of the national parks. I've never been to Seattle. I've only been to like Hawaii on cruises or Jamaica.
Or little family vacations.
Or family vacations.
Yeah.
So my idea of America is based off of my city, which you are never your best in your city. Like I tell women all the time, my type is women in countries that I'm not in.
Women in countries that you're not in, but then you're not there.
My apologies. That's how you know I never said this to her.
No, I mean, I thought I was understanding it wrong.
Women in countries that I'm not in. Yes, women in countries that I'm not in.
So you like to date long distance?
No.
like
Okay,
to
I'm not
torture
crazy.
yourself.
I'm not crazy. So it works like this. If I'm in Brazil, I won't date a Brazilian. I'm going to date a Japanese woman. And if I'm in Japan, I won't date a Japanese woman. I'm going to date a Brazilian. Because I'm more interested in who you become when you travel. Because when you're in your family and your city and your society, and you begin to play the roles that you're expected to play.
Yeah.
But when you travel, you get to be you. And you get to say, oh, I'm going to open myself up to new experiences, and that's where I come into the picture.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm not
So
crazy.
I see a little U.S. travel with some foreign women in your future. I could make that a possibility. Okay. So, Okay, so let's move on to this little baby you have, the chamber.
Okay, for sure.
I'm calling it a baby. I mean,
I'm here for it.
it's about men, but men can, start from the beginning too. So, why the chamber exists? I would like to know. Maybe start from the beginning.
Why the chamber exists? The chamber exists because a lot of men suck.
Okay.
I have conversations with women and they're like, oh my God. I ask them, I'm like, why aren't you single? Why are you single, right? And they'd be like, oh, I'm single because there's no good men out there. And I'm like, all right, fair enough. And then I think about it and I go, that kind of sucks for you guys because there's a lot of great women.
Absolutely, I agree with that.
Everywhere I
I agree
go,
with that statement.
I always run into fantastic women.
Same.
They're soft, they're kind, they're gentle, they're helpful. It's not the same. And it's also, the numbers ain't on the side. You can go into a whole breakdown of the dating epidemic that we're currently in. But the dating epidemic is only a macrocosm or a microcosm of the societal problem, the relationship problem, the family issue, the self-respect, porn addiction, gambling addiction, all of it runs within the same line of thinking. And so knowing this, I begin to think, well, when was I at my best? And I realize I'm at my best when I'm with a group who is locked in. Chamber. When I'm in my fight camps, guys who are like, we're training 5 a.m. We run, we get into our rhythm, we do MMA in the morning. Then we come back at 11 a.m., we do Muay Thai or we do Jiu-Jitsu. And then you eat well and then you come back. Super
Focus.
tapped in. When I am with my boy Eduardo. Eduardo is probably one of the most intellectually stimulating people I've ever met in my life. We have some of the most confrontational debates ever. But I don't always win them. And I'm used to dominating when it comes to intellectual sparring sessions, right? But because I have somebody who is still
One-upping you.
Still, he's equally yoked to me. Well, now it allows for me to continually develop because if I'm just throwing out the same tricks, eventually he knows them all and you lose. So it continually helps you build. So it's allowing for men to enter a space where we're gravity is heavier, time is slower, and you can build yourself alongside people who are also building themselves, like what we're seeing here at Nomad Farms. I mean, look at us. We met here.
Yeah.
How many videos have you done in the last 3 days?
The same one like 30 times, just trying to get it right. Lots of blooper reels. Okay, I've done a reel every single day that I've been at Nomad Farm.
And that's going to speed up because we're doing a video right now. We just shot a video and we did the video of us doing the squats together. That's 3 videos.
Yeah.
Because you have somebody who's equally as invested in their craft as you are.
Absolutely. Super inspired.
That's
by
why
you.
we're building out chambers.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I see it. It's amazing. It's amazing to see men taking manhood into their own hands. Like, you're not being driven anymore by society for society to tell you your role. You are crafting your role by seeking the challenge, by seeking the path of resistance. And I see that as a theme for sure. It's not that men are tapped out. They want a challenge.
They need a challenge.
Yeah.
A man without challenge, and a man without challenge is rigor mortis.
Yeah.
You know, they're dying, they're stiffening up, they're losing their fluidity.
Yeah.
I mean, whether your challenge is yoga or your challenge is jujitsu, one person could say, oh, my challenge is harder. It doesn't matter. As long as you are constantly in a state of calluses building and cauliflower development, that's everything.
Yeah.
Cauliflowers
I
is...
have no idea what's a cauliflower development.
That
I know
is-
calluses.
Calluses and cauliflowers is something very similar. When you go into jiu-jitsu or wrestling or rugby,
Okay.
all 3 I've done, what ends up happening is your ears take so much damage that they begin to send blood into the ears and they swell up. And then that blood sits in the ears. You can have them drained if you want to stay sexy, or you can just allow for it to harden up. Once it hardens up, you can take more damage to them and it will not get the same level of distortion.
Okay.
It's resilience building. It might not
crazy.
look sexy,
Right.
but that's the point.
Ah, I see.
Sexiness is perfection, but perfection is meekness. It's like when you have a new pair of shoes. It's perfect, but you got to walk kind of weird because you don't want to mess them up. Robustness is what humans are. We are anti-fragile. You want to be broken down so that you can build yourself up stronger. We're not machines.
Yeah. Oh my God. A lot to think on there. Oh, wow. I mean, I could just think about that for a while, but I'm the interviewer over here, so let me get back to business. Okay. That answers the first question. Do you think modern men are under-challenged or over-distracted?
Oh, you already know my answer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's under-challenged. Um, How about another abstract philosophical question? Let's just go for it.
Yeah,
What
scare
does
me.
pain reveal that pleasure hides?
What does pain reveal that pleasure hides? You see this tattoo?
Yeah.
It's an Ouroboros,
Oh, dragon?
but I prefer the dragon.
Ah,
I prefer the dragon. Typically, it's a snake or a prairie, like a prairie rat dog.
which
But-
which culture background is that word from?
I want to say Hindu.
Ouroboros.
Ouroboros.
I'll look that up. Okay.
Look it up because
Okay.
I'm not too sure. I just know the thought process behind it. But the reason why I got it is because during my mushroom trip, the most intense mushroom trip that I think I'd ever been on,
Yeah.
it made me realize that that which brings you the most pleasure will also bring you the most pain.
Yeah. there
So
you
it's a
go.
dragon eating itself because it tastes so good, but at the same time, it doesn't know the destruction that it's doing it to itself.
Yeah.
So pleasure is a depreciating sensation. Yeah, it depreciates. You start off here, and then you're craving more of it, and it's never satiated. You never get enough. While pain, you get enough of it from the get-go, and it's about how much you're willing to go through from it. And from there, you now have a threshold of how far you're willing to go. And that's why, for myself, I'm always thinking, how can I put myself into an uncomfortable position? Because if I can do it right now while everything's good, that means if things switch, because that's the way that this world works, you never know when it's going to switch. If you can put yourself in these positions curated
Okay.
now, when things get hard, you have a threshold of, ooh, I know how far I can go. Jiu-jitsu, right? In jiu-jitsu, there's this thing called a crank. A crank is where somebody puts their arm around your chin and twist. A white belt, they're tapping. Why are they tapping? Because it hurts. But a black belt sits inside of a crank because they've been there before. And they know, yeah, it hurts, but old dude's gonna get real tired. And eventually his grip is gonna loosen, and that's my time to make my move. So having those exposure moments allows for them to move through pain with a lot more ease and allows for them to impose themselves when the time is right. Timing is everything in this world. And if you don't have the ability to relax in the uncomfort, well, then you can never actually become. And that's the reason that I believe pain is better than pleasure.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to switch that actually.
Yeah.
I'm on a journey for that. Like I'm doing things because I think it's a balance that's necessary. Very often we're almost are like whipping boys. We try to like smack our backs with whips and torture ourselves in order to find morality and holiness. And I don't know if that's actually the way, because if you know the story of the Buddha was pleasure, ultimate pleasure. He was Siddhartha. He was the son of the king, women and food and galore. And then he said that this isn't the way, so he goes and he's eating one grain of rice, laying on a bed of nails, absolute suffering. And then he said, this ain't the way either. So what's the way? The Tao, the middle way. So you got to find some balance in between.
Do you think most men secretly want initiation even if they've never used that word?
Absolutely. We seek it all the time. We seek it since we were children. I mean, that's why you have bullying. Bullying is just the confirmation that your initiation ain't happening. You see it. And that's from a young child all the way up until you're an old man. And I think you begin to understand where you stand in this hierarchy as you get older. But there's initiation happening all the time. You have fraternities, you have Ivy League schools, you have fringe groups, you have sports. All of these are forms of initiation. It's all group building, and that's all the initiation is the acceptance into a group. Like I said in the beginning of this conversation, my biggest issue was that I didn't have a group to get accepted into. I was born into the family, and everything else was so passing by that it doesn't matter. Even here being in Nomad Farm, the initiation for me is how much I'm willing to create for you guys. Hey, one day, like Lily, who's hosting the Skillshare? We don't have somebody. All right, I'll run
I love that.
I'll run the
Yeah.
what is it? Highest yield.
Let me jump in there.
You know who's running the fire event tonight?
No.
Me.
Ah, yes.
Because
I won't fall asleep for this
you
one.
won't fall asleep for sure. I do this because this is my initiation. This shows who I am within the community.
This is your initiation, yeah.
And that moves even in relationships.
Yeah.
How you show up is your initiation. Some people fail their initiations after they've been initiated because it never stops. The initiation process never stops.
And what I like that you do, which I never thought about, I thought someone else has to initiate you. You take the initiative to step up, and that's your initiation. No one
Yeah.
has to give you permission to do that. No one has to give you permission to go to the next level, to find a challenge, to do what you really want to do, to face your dreams, to put it out there, what's in your heart. You do you, and that's your initiation, which is beautiful. You're not just in a fraternity getting hazed. You know,
Yeah.
that's totally different than what I've ever heard as initiation.
Exactly. Thank you.
Thank you. Why do men trust each other more after difficulty?
Because I've seen you in the dark. I resent, and I'm trying to unresent wellness retreats. You know, places where you do this shit. I'm trying to resent them because I've done them, and I
Yeah.
know how they are just spiritual luxury vacations, oftentimes. And so because it's all comfortable, right? If we do all these things and we're feeling good, we're happy, we're laughing, and then somebody comes in with a gun, you don't know how I'm going to respond. So where is the trust there?
Yeah.
And trust is a spectrum, right? It's not like, oh, I trust you with my life. Well, I trust you a little bit more if when somebody comes in here with a gun, you help me take them down. You put your life in harm's ways alongside me. I have more trust in you than the guy who took off running and just saved themselves. Does that mean that I'm going to allow for you to take my kids across the world with you? I haven't seen you in that role yet, but trust is something that's built on hardship.
Yes.
That's why I say community is only as deep as the wound.
Yeah.
Like if there's a famine happening, they like the difference between our civilization, the Americas, for instance. I mean, you're Indian, but you lived in the Americas, so you have an idea of the way that these people work. They would rather throw food out than than feed somebody on the street.
Yeah.
Native Americans and tribal and indigenous people, their thought process is, I would rather store my food in the belly of my neighbor because the moment that my belly becomes empty, their food needs storage. That's a very different mindset.
Yeah.
But that's a mindset of community-based. We are individual-based. And that's the reason that we're going to suffer,
Yeah.
because so many people are individual winners. But true wealth, and wealth is not just about the pockets. It's about the mind. It's about the security of oneself. That's rooted inside of community, family, and institutions.
Can we have another podcast? That's a whole other. That's a whole other topic. So, mm, ah,
I'm gonna put you in my luggage. I'm taking you everywhere I go.
podcast in your
Yeah,
pocket.
we podcast partners.
Yes, I love it. Do you think intensity can become addictive?
Absolutely. It's that's novelty. That's novelty. That's the life that I live. That's the life that I've rejected, and I'm trying to now find balance in between the two.
The pendulum swing.
The pirate ship,
Yeah, I love the pirate ship analogy.
you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Tell us what the pirate ship analogy is.
the pirate ship. When you go to an amusement park, you have that pirate ship that swings like this, and a man who is going to self-evaluate himself, or a woman, it doesn't make a difference. A person who's going to self-evaluate, they're going to see when they go too far in one direction, and they're going to try to correct it. The correction, though, is not about going to the opposite side, because people think the opposite of heaven is hell. No, the opposite of heaven, the opposite of hell is hell. It's just a hell with a different color. Heaven for eternity becomes hell. What makes heaven is the ability to change. That's from one of my favorite books, which is A Short Stay in Hell.
Ah, the
And
ability to change.
Yes, think about it. If you go to heaven, what is hell? We all understand hell, right? Hell is this place of eternal suffering and pain and torture, and it happens eternally. What is heaven? Heaven is good for
Rewards.
eternity and rewards and virgins and for eternity. But eventually, that gets boring. And then you begin to realize, and now you're in hell again. What makes heaven is the ability to know there is purpose in what you're doing, and purpose comes because change will happen. Vampires are in hell. That's why they hang out at high schools, because they're not going to die. There's no purpose for the things that they do. Don't be that.
Do you think some men hide inside performance because authenticity feels more dangerous?
No, of course, authenticity can be attacked.
Authenticity can be attacked.
Yeah, authenticity can be attacked. If you put yourself out there, it's like, this is me. But the chest is one of the most vulnerable parts of the human
and
of the
there's
human
no
being.
shield to
No
protect
shield.
you.
So performance allows for you to say, hey guys, it's like a matador.
Yeah,
Look over here.
yeah.
And the bull attacks it, but there's nothing behind it. It was never real in the first place. Authenticity is, here I am. Come on. And those are two total, and it's not saying that one is actually right or wrong. It just depends on what your goal is. A lot of people love to put right and wrong onto things, but it's all about what is your intentions. What is it that you want out of life? If you just want to move through life with ease, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not the way that I want to live, but for you, it might be the way. If that's the way, then walking around with your chest wide open is a very, very risky way and not actually beneficial to your journey.
Okay.
But it's all about knowing which direction you want to move. And for the people who align with my ethos,
Okay.
yeah, and authenticity is a better way to move, but it's not as easy as I'm just going to be authentic, because for so long, a lot of us have been performing, and it's hard to know when to get off the stage and take off the makeup.
So, bird. Okay, just fell into the window. So, how does the chamber help with that?
The chamber. A large aspect, and this is rooted in just the most fundamental aspects of who humans are. And I'm actually going to cite Jordan Peterson on this. Lobsters. You ever heard of the lobster story?
No, I haven't. Tell me.
The lobster story is
I
ridiculous.
want to learn more.
So lobsters, they move around with their little lobster hands, and they are always fighting for space. Their space to exist. Food, mates, and plates.
Food,
Right.
mate, and plate.
Yeah.
Mates and plates.
Yeah, meats and plates. So what ends up happening is when two, what they will call, let's call dominating lobsters, come into the same environment, now they have this situation where they have to decide on who is the one that's going to get the most.
Okay.
It's not an easy decision. So they begin to show their claws. Like I have big claws. And the other one has the ability to say, you got bigger claws than me, I'm good. Or here's my claws too. And they go, okay, wait. So you really pressing me right now. Now they lift their bodies up to show their underbellings and to show that they're big lobsters. And if the other one stands up, well, now it's official. We got to fight. So what ends up happening is they go with their tentacles and they try to grab for either hands or eyes and rip them out. And the one that loses that fight, you see that their serotonin and their dopamine levels plummet. And they go into this level of depression. They can no longer get mates. It's very hard to get food and housing. And they end up dying.
Yeah, that
But
would suck.
if you inject them with dopamine,
Okay.
they're ready to fight again.
Ah.
So the reason why I bring that up is because we live in they're crustaceans. That's the lowest level or the most original form of species on this earth. Humans are still of this earth. We still have that ingrained within us.
Okay.
And we are constantly fighting for
Getting
space.
knocked down.
For space.
Yeah.
School, competing for the space to get the seat. Partners, competing for the space to get the heart. Food. Bill Gates has taken up so much food, so much land. That's competition. Whether you say, oh, he has so much more than me. Yes, because you are in a competition with all. Sorry, it's the truth. So with this being the case, the chamber allows for you, one, to step away from that competition and you begin to compete in a curated environment, not alongside people who are, let's say, envious, who want what you have and don't want you to have it. But you're fighting along people who want to see you develop because by you developing, they're developing as well, right?
Say that one more time.
By you developing, they're developing as well.
Okay.
You winning is their winning. If I have more food in my belly, that means my neighbor has the potential to gain more food as well. Like what we talked about in the highest yield. We're trying to level each other up because we're a community. We're looking out for each other. And as digital nomads, we quickly find you're alone in this world. You go to a new city and it's like, oh yeah, everything is good. Let something bad happen to you in that hostel. Who's going to give up their money for you?
Yeah. Yep. What happens when you're sick?
What happens when
And
you're sick?
They're off to the next tour.
They're off to the next tour. So
Yeah.
this is creating that chamber where you can go in there and say, wait, we're not just playing friends right now because everything is good. I punched you in the face and I saw how you responded when your nose began to bleed. I challenged you on that thought process and I saw how you began to respond when everybody was curious on how your emotions would reflect on your position being challenged. But it's in a chamber where one, gender politics don't play in, as well as survival doesn't play in. You know, those don't really have to kick in, but it is a curated environment where you can begin to stress test yourself alongside other men who are also dedicated to stress testing themselves.
Okay. And then what are the physical, mental, and psychological challenges specifically in the chamber?
You got to come to the chamber to find that out.
Okay. Well, I'm not a man.
I'll tell you off camera.
Okay.
But what I will
So-
say is you will have access to the highest yield. That will be included, Devil's Advocate, and some high-level combat and physical workshops. They're not a Muay Thai camp. It's not that level. It's entry. Because as we get to know each other, and the thing about fight camps, if you just go in there on day one and start trying to fight everybody, nobody's really going to want to fight with you because they don't know how you move. You have to first find your partner. You have to understand how they move, how they think, and then you guys begin to build upon it. It's like dance. It's like play. And that's a very important aspect of martial arts as well. So all of that is a part of the experience of the chamber.
Is this a fight club?
No.
Okay. Then
We do have combat workshops in there, of course, because as men, we want to be challenged mentally, physically, as well as emotionally. So you're going to have situations where you have to hold your own in terms of intellectual altercations. Give you two topics, maybe one topic isn't even a topic that's worth winning, but you still got to defend your point. And it teaches you how to hold your emotions while having your position challenged. Because very often, definitely when it comes to men, and the reason why it's mostly men and it's men only, is because when women come into the play, we become very performative. And that takes away the authenticity of how we really are feeling and what we are willing to give access to. I had that. I had the workshop with Moni today, and as she was emotionally charged, I felt as though, as my role as a man and the way that I have moved, because I am a man, I needed to hold space. Even though she made it very clear, no, 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 explode too. Let's explode together. My muscle memory wouldn't allow for me
I see.
to explode because I only know how to hold space when a woman is exploding around me,
Ah, okay.
right? But if there's only men, it gives us all the ability to say, I don't need to hold space for you
Yeah.
because we're all exploding and holding space for each other.
Okay. So we're out here in the Sierra Nevada, Santa Marta, Colombia, Mother Nature,
Yeah, I love this.
talking about men's emotional, physical, and spiritual health. What happens to a man psychologically and spiritually when he loses his connection to nature?
When he loses connection to nature, he embraces he embraces the masculine world wholeheartedly.
He what?
He embraces the masculine world and loses the bipartisan of the feminine. Mother Nature, it's a very feminine aspect, and that's the ability to feel.
The ability to feel.
That's the ability to feel. We become thinkers.
Yeah.
And the thing about a thinker is that a thinker is unable to be in the present.
Right.
They live in the future and in the past.
In the regrets of the past and the fear of the future.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so when you lose touch with nature, you lose touch with a whole half of yourself. Humans are half spiritual, half physical, right? So you have to be able to integrate both truly. And that's where you find wholeness. You know, my ability to talk with you and to shut the fuck up and listen to you and hear what you have to say is my feminine, right? But my ability to say, hey, she don't have shoes on, let me throw her over my shoulder because we got places to be, that's my masculine. And knowing how to play the two is where a lot of people go wrong. Some men are overly indexed on the masculine, which means that they have no ability to even recognize when collaboration is key. And some men have no access into the masculine and they're playing in the feminine and they don't understand why their strength is being used as a weapon because you have no way to control self. You're chaos. So I think, just to answer your question in the easiest way possible, a man who loses touch with nature is to lose touch with his God.
A man who loses touch with nature is to lose touch with his God.
Yeah.
That's another podcast. In this retreat you have cooking here, in the nature of Medellin, what in that men's group is going to bring back the balance between masculine and feminine within each participant?
Well, we never will run a retreat. It will always be a chamber.
A chamber. Okay.
But what's going to allow for
within themselves.
the proper integration of the masculine and the feminine is that we have to first bring in healthy masculinity, because healthy masculinity gives room for healthy femininity to flourish. You know, femininity is collaboration while masculinity is disagreeableness, right? And disagreeableness or objectivity is beautiful, especially when there's tyranny or chaos or things that we don't want. Like, how many people go, we don't want AI, so who's gonna stop it? You just accept. We've become people of accepting.
Yeah.
And accepting is a very feminine trait. It's collaborating, it's working alongside and being agreeable. But sometimes you should not be agreeable. Sometimes you should be agreeable. So it's knowing when to use what.
Yeah.
That's where the chamber comes in, is because we're going to put you into curated situations, environments where you get to make the decision on, am I going to collaborate? Am I going to be disagreeable? Am I going to build or am I going to destroy? Am I going to defend or am I going to attack? That's a very necessary place to be, especially in a world that shames you for being masculine. Why does it shame you for being masculine? Because masculinity rules, and the people who rule it are super fucking masculine. And they don't want you to be masculine, because if you do, you might disagree with that which they're doing. You hate Epstein Island? Yeah, then disagree with it. Do something about it. You won't, because you've been taught to be anti-masculine. Not feminine, you've just been taught to be anti-masculine. Because that's the best thing to keep the status quo in alignment.
Well, I have a lot more to talk to you about, but not today, at another time in the future. So let's just put out there, what do we have to look forward to from Hunter, the Chamber, and 2026?
Well, you have to look forward to the chamber. We have June 19th to the 21st happening, the first one in Colombia. And this came actually very recently. Came from an idea that was pivoted towards me, which is a speedy fool is better than a stagnant, brilliant person.
Speedy fools, but yeah.
Move
Keep
with
moving.
intentionality.
Year of the fire horse.
Move. Even with your decision to come to the chamber, a lot of you are going to be hesitant. Ooh, should I go? What if it hurts my pockets? What if it
Hurts your nose?
It
From
hurts
what
my
the like what?
go, do. Make the decision. Make a decision. Whether that's come or don't come, make a decision. Don't be in a limbo, because limbo is where you die. It's where you die. Either get on the plane or fly, or get off the plane or fly. So that's first. Chamber is happening. With the 100 Tale podcast, we're going deeper in the philosophies. We're going deeper into understanding what the chambers are meant to be. By experiencing the chambers, it's allowing for us to understand ourselves. Going to that workshop with Munya Day has given me a whole new perspective on what it means to be in a relationship with a woman. You know, and like I said to you when we first met, women are one of my biggest guides in this life.
That's beautiful.
You know, because they see the world differently. Actually, genuinely, women and men see the world differently.
Absolutely.
Men see significantly further in front of them, while women see further peripherally. So with that being the case, we need each other.
Yeah.
You watch my back and I show you where we're going. And that's the reason why the 100 Tale podcast is growing as I am.
And as you grow, we get to see that. We see your process. I love it.
And you
I
coming
love
with
it.
me.
I love it. I love it. Friend for life. Thank you, Hunter.
Love
Thanks for joining the podcast and the questions and answering with all honesty and vulnerability. Ciao. Super cheesy. Good for you.
Crazy,
Putting
right?
yourself out there. Now you gotta move that energy. Jump up and down.
I'm gonna go for a run.
Jump. Yeah, you're like, I know how to move my energy.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Not
for a run.
jumping around. So let's move everything back. It's cool that dinner's later too. I'm not even hungry.
So what'd you think of that?